We're Kim and Al. We have been planning our escape from a fast-paced corporate life since we met 10 years ago. Freedom 45. This year, we finally pulled the ripcord. We quit our jobs, sold our home in the city, bought a property in the sticks, and are building an off-grid home ourselves. We're excited to share our experience as we create our new life on the North River. This week our focus is getting the roof completed, at least finished to the point where we can put the underlay down. We don't want to have to put up the tarp again if we can avoid it because it leaks and it's difficult to pin down. It looks like we've got a string of nice days this week, which we haven't had in a bit, so fingers crossed we can get it completed so that we can also put the rest of the OSB up on the walls and get ourselves dried in so we can insulate. Our door was delivered, but our windows won't be ready until December. In the meantime, we'll have to put up some makeshift openings with vapor barrier for the 4 windows on the south wall to let light in. The larger window on the east wall will be covered with OSB.
Lights flash in the dark. I know you're coming back, aiming at my heart. And these things never come from me easily, no. But now I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready, ready. Emotions repeating, though it's been so long. I know what you're thinking, I know. I wanna spend all our time now, for better or worse. I know the past is gone, and now you're all I want. 'Cause I would give it all up, give it all up, give it all up for you. I would give it all up, give it all up, give it all up. I would give it all up, give it all up, give it all up for you. I would give it all up, give it all up, give it all up.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is day 593. I don't know if we'll ever get out of here alive. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually a really nice day. It's supposed to be nice for the next few days. We just took the tarp off the roof, and we're on the home stretch of just getting all the sheathing up top, the OSB board on the roof to shut out the elements. So I'm pretty pleased about that. Wanted to introduce you all to my new table saw. Born of great frustration and disappointment. As anyone who knows me well, I was super happy when my DeWalt table saw went kaput. In fairness, in the small amount of time that I had it, I did really put it through its paces, but I did not expect it to die so young. Not giving up on it, it's just I went through diagnosing to ensure that it was getting voltage, that voltage was getting to the reset breaker, and all that added up. I had continuity, I had 120 volts. The only thing I hadn't had a chance to diagnose yet is the motor itself, but it's a to get at, and all I could envision in my head and my crystal ball was 2 or 3 days of fighting to get this thing apart and categorize the screws and stuff so I could put it back together properly. And so we kind of bit the bullet and drove to the big city and got a new saw. So slight improvement over what I had, in truth. So, you know, bittersweet, but I was happy with the purchase. I did a little bit of research and pillaged a couple of forums of guys like myself that go on the deep dive, looking at different reviews and things. So it's a worm drive saw, which means that it's geared in at 90 degrees as opposed to a direct drive saw, which is connected directly to the motor, or sorry, to the blade. So my understanding is, although it typically has lower RPMs, it has a hell of a lot more torque. It's great for ripping in that, and it's pretty awesome, to be honest. I'm still not happy about having to buy a new saw, but it's definitely an improvement. It just rips through all the OSB and even the 2x4s that I'm having to cut on an angle for the slope of the flat roof. Just chews through them like butter, like nothing. So I'm pretty pleased about that. It's got the same adjustable fence with the rotor. That's not any different than the DeWalt. Came out of the box pretty accurate. One thing I do like is that you have to push this green button to start it, and then you can stop it with your knee. You just have to push this in. This switch is connected to the kill switch, so it just makes it a little bit handier to do, you know, kind of one person operation. And the other thing, I would say, to anyone out there looking at different table saws and that, I'm not plugging Skill Saw, no affiliation, no endorsement, but the fact that to raise and lower the blade is absolutely butter, and it's geared in at the bottom. You might even be able to see it here in the camera. This is a vast improvement over the DeWalt. The DeWalt, for whatever reason, to raise the blade, sometimes you have to two-hand it, or I would just literally turn it like this little wheel I'd turn with both hands, which was absolute garbage. This, again, to raise it, just nothing. A kid could do it and cut off their hands. Just kidding. Play safe. So, as for the old one, again, it's not a terrible saw by any means. Very lightweight, and it's been very good to me. So, I'm guessing from what I read so far, and anybody that knows more than I do, which there must be zillions of you out there, feel free to comment. But I think it's either the brushes or something, you know, loose wiring or something in the motor itself. Because like I said, I debugged everything all the way up to the wires that go up into the motor housing. So wherever the problem is, somewhere in there. It's not an easy reset the breaker switch or anything like that. So that's the dealio. I'll probably, at some point when the shop is all done, dedicate that for my dado blade set. So, you know, probably an expensive solution to not wanting to change blades lots, but I'd rather hang on to it than sell it on Craigslist or Kijiji or whatever and just take a bath on what I originally paid for it. So that's the story of the saws.
minute you walk through the door, I'm hit by the same old tide, blinded by the lights, and I'm going through changes, but it's easier with you. I'm going through changes, and so are you. I live for the moments when you're around me. I know you've got secrets, but I can't keep on. And we're fading in and out together. The fuse wide open, stuck in the moment.
Hi guys.
Oh, hello.
So we got our roof up. Well, we got the roof up to the point where we were able to put the underlay down.
Yeah.
We're still gonna
semi sealed. It's we had some rain today and it mostly repelled off. It pooled in a couple places where it's kind of wrinkled and that. It is a flat roof, not truly flat. There's no such thing really. It needs to be sloped. But we are going to be tarring it soon, or using asphalt, this Black Knight goo in a can fibered roofing coating. So that's what we're going to use to properly seal the roof up. And
yeah,
that
but
would
we
be
had
bad.
we had a really good week. They were calling. I mean, at the beginning of the week, they told us we were going to have basically a nice week all week. But you know, we've got such strange weather in this area. It oftentimes when they say that we're going to get a storm, it passes right over us and hits the areas around us. So we just never really know, and we kind of have to watch hour by hour the way that everything's going to go. But we did end up having nice days, like up to 12, and not too bad at night.
Solid 12, yeah.
Yeah, only down to 6
Toasty.
at night. So nice, comfortable sleep still. We got a lot done this week. We were really pleased. We did end up getting the roof up and the underlay down, the rest of the OSB up, except for a little bit around the top of two sides.
Literally 4 inches, like the depth of the header, top plate, cap plate, and the base plate.
Yeah. But it's all taped. Al was able to seal the bottom around the
Just between
base.
the base of the OSB and the top of the insulation that wraps the foundation. I just used a little bit of that Stuff It large gap filler foam in a can.
Yeah, so we're at the point where we think next week we're going to be able to get the trailer in there and basically build up that false wall, because Al doesn't want to build the doors right now. It's probably going to take too long, and we did actually get a little bit of snow today, so we just want to get in there and get cozy and warm, and then kind of build those doors at our own pace and not have to rush to get them done fast. So really, really pleased with everything that we got done this week. It's not leaking in there. Like when you go in there, it's nice and dry. The roof
looking
is
over at it.
Yeah, we're so
almost
pleased.
there. Yeah, what we're gonna do is put the vapor barrier and the insulation up on the one wall and the ceiling, so that we can just get the trailer in there. And like I mentioned, build a pony wall. I'm gonna build the wall, but I'm using screws, not nails. Something that we can take apart. I don't want to waste the lumber, so we're gonna put together a wall. It'll be built like a regular wall, but it's just gonna fit right into the opening of the garage door, and then I'll tow it in with some heavy, like 4-inch number 10 screws, just to hold it all in place, and then we'll insulate it properly and everything. But then come spring, we can pull those screws out, take that wall down, and unscrew it and take it apart. We can reuse the screws, we can reuse the lumber, yada yada yada,
And create the doors then, so that that's a
take
workable
time.
space.
Yeah, because the doors will be, there's a little bit of trick to it, and especially we're making them from scratch, and I'm waiting for a new planer to come in to make sure that everything's plain, nice and square and straight. As you're hanging doors, you want them to be mwah, or else they swing open on their own, or they're difficult to pull. Plus they're massive doors. They're going to be at least 10 feet tall. At least.
Yeah. So the thing is, I mean, at the end of the day, this week, like everything else, we literally, it started to rain right when we were finishing the last
layer of underlay.
Yeah.
Like literally as we're rolling it out, it just started to come down in earnest. So we were phew!
Yeah. So we were able to get off the roof and inside and nice and warm. So really pleased that we got all that done. We are sore. Up and down that scaffolding all week, we realized that those are muscles we haven't used in a while.
or ever in some cases. Some of them, like some of the things that the maneuvering you have to do to get up and over things, it's just stuff you didn't use.
Yeah.
It was awesome too this morning as Kim was calling to inquire about the snow tires we ordered for the truck. They were being literally delivered while she was on the phone.
Yeah.
'Cause I looked outside and I'm like, what the hell are those in the yard? Oh, tires. Perfect.
So, yeah,
Perfect.
we're really excited because, I mean, I know we've been talking about this all along and we keep saying it over and over again, but the truth is we are really looking forward to not feeling rushed. Neither one of us really like being in a rushed situation. We'd rather work at things at our own speed and just be able to switch focus when we need to, and not, be worried about the weather and worried about different things. We just want to be able to switch gears when we need to and work on things at our own pace. So, really looking forward to getting the trailer in there this week and getting that all insulated and just in time, because this week it looks like we're getting 0-degree weather at night now. So
yeah, we had a little bit of sleet this morning, like just for 15 minutes, a little bit of like slush and rain, like wet snow. But in the forecast, it's got to be coming. It's when you look at the long-term forecast, the temperature's just slowly tracking down. Like we get a little unusual couple of warm days, and then it drops down to normal. But it's going to be pretty steadily below zero probably in about a month.
Well, we've been really lucky. This is the beginning of November now, and
it's been unusual. It's going to go up to 10 degrees again this week, so that'll give us enough time and temperature to put on that asphalt without it being too gummy.
Yeah, and we also have to wrap the house and do those things too. But
yep, but all in time. Like those are all things that you can get 1 or 2 of those jobs done a day. Like yesterday, we were able to finish up all the trim around the front of the roof. Like just the facing, the fascia on the joist ends, and then also get the underlay and all that up as well. So did pretty good. We worked pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then you did the rest of the taping on the walls too.
Yeah, and the taping's all done too. So really excited that the roof's up and it's nice and dry in there, and we get a really good sense of what it's going to feel like in there this winter, and we're really pleased. We're pleased with the design.
Yeah, it's going to be a toasty space and the nice high ceilings. Like there's so much potential, like things that we can do in there, and again, like Kim mentioned, like once we're in there and past the gauntlet, then if we wake up and we're sore one day or whatever, there's no reason not to just we'll take it easy today. And I can do a little bit of woodworking and build shelves and storage stuff. We can putter. And also just to be able to do, the chores that we have around here. Like it took us a while to get to the leaves because we've got other things to focus on, but it would be nice to be able to just do that stuff and make the property look nice, and we still have to do some of the lying down of the sod out where the septic bed is still, and we do plan on getting to that before the winter, hopefully, if we have some time. But the ground freezes.
Yeah, we don't really want the piles there, with the snow on it, and we'd like it to be flat and just ready to go in the spring when it when it gets warm again.
Doesn't matter at all in the end.
Yeah, I know.
That's a small potato.
It's going to be what it's going to be,
Yeah.
That's the plan, and of course it will change, so. Yep. But yeah, so that's where we're at.
Yep. Our life is boring. Wonderful and boring.
Yeah.